Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. Today is a special live stream today, though, because today is 100 straight days of live streaming. Literally, I have been live streaming now for the past 100 days. First of all, I wouldn't have even thought it would have been possible to hit live every single time. If you think about my last 100 days, that has been in the middle of a move. That has been going on vacation to Toronto. That's been back-to-back eating days. That's been days I didn't want to be here, but I still showed up. That is the power of consistency. Before I can even continue with what I need to say here, Miss Peaceful One just donated $10. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for your continued support. As always, I appreciate you so much. Miss Peaceful One with a $10 donation says, happy 100th day, Mr. Hashtag imperfect consistency. I love that. Thank you so much, Miss Peaceful One. Thank you for the generous donation. Also, right at the top of the hour, I appreciate you. Before I can even finish with Miss Peaceful One, Shauna just donated $10 as well. That says 100 days. We appreciate you. Finally fasting. Shauna, thank you so much for your support as always. Both of you have been so supportive, and I both appreciate both of you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the continued support, both of you. Thank you so much. So let's talk about this really quick. 100 days, right? Not every day has been easy. Not every day has been perfect. Just like what Miss Peaceful One says, it has been 100 days of imperfect consistency. They weren't perfect. They weren't easy, but you know what? They were real. These were 100 real days, and you got to see me do that every single day. I don't think there's ever been a time that I have shown myself every day for 100 days in a row. Think about this for you in your journey. Have you shown up consistently in that way? And think about this as I have been doing this daily. And for some of you who have come here day after day after day, has that changed the way you think? Has that changed the way that you do things? If you were somebody that was trying to do something perfectly, and then you've realized, I don't always have to do it this way. I can just show up for myself and do what I need to do. If that's changed you, if that's helped you on your journey, think about the importance of accountability and doing something imperfectly consistent. Dak just became a part of the Finally Fasting fam. Dak, thank you so much for your support. I couldn't remember if you were already a member previously, but Dak, thank you so much. Can we please throw some F's up for Dak being part of the Finally Fasting fam? I appreciate you. You know what's really interesting? Yesterday, I was checking my account to see if I could add a new emoji. We're not there just yet, but I think there are over 300 members of the Finally Fasting fam, which is ridiculous. I think it's over 300, and obviously that's going to fluctuate over time, but I couldn't believe it myself. Dak, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. And I guess even before I can, everyone, Maggie May also became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Maggie May, who's been here for, guys, what is happening? Maggie May just became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we throw some F's up for Maggie May, or throw a custom emoji up for people who are part of the Finally Fasting fam? You have that ability to do that. Maggie May, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up for yourself day in and day out. You guys, what is happening right now? Elmadas with a 10 euro, is that right? A 10 euro donation. Elmadas, thank you for your support. Elmadas says, happy 100th day, Jerome. Elmadas, thank you so much. Thank you for the generous donation as well. Okay. Deja as well just dropped $10. Guys, thank you. Thank you. I have a lot to say still too. So Deja with a $10 donation also says my 100 couldn't have been possible without your 100. Thank you for showing up and showing. I already felt this way before I started because I wrote this up and I was like, yeah, like it's 100 days and it's a lot of work to do this, but I'm telling you, if you can just show up for yourself, you can do amazing things. You absolutely can. Deja says, thank you for showing up and showing me what real accountability. Okay, give me a second, 1 second. The goal is the same, everyone. The goal is the same. It's to be happy and healthy. It's to stop doing something a specific way and just finding what your journey looks like. And this is the importance of accountability. Like it truly is. This is the big thing I've learned about myself. I mean, I am that example. If you know me, if you've been here for a while, think about where I was in 2021 when I dropped my weight all the way down to 125 pounds. And then I was gone for 2 years because I was ashamed. I was feeling guilty about the weight that I gained and I couldn't be accountable. And look at what's happened since then. I've come back. I've dropped the weight at record time and I've continued to keep it off. Has every day been easy or perfect? No, but every day has been a journey, a struggle. I put the work in, I put the effort in. It's been a realization of all I have to do is show up for myself in that way. Deja, thank you so much for your donation. I am honored to help you find success in what you're doing. And for anybody who's watching this as well, for you to also find continued success, right? Because the journey just doesn't end. It doesn't end. Thank you so much, Deja. You guys are, Sydney with a 10 Australian dollar donation. Congrats, Jerome. Sydney, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All you guys, these are huge donations. Sydney, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Happy Bunny with a 5. Is this euro? Not euro. This is pound, right? Happy Bunny says, thank you so much for these daily chats. You're very welcome, Happy Bunny. It's been so inspiring. I really appreciate you. Congrats on 100 days. Happy Bunny, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Actually, thank you for showing up as well, day in and day out, sharing how your journey has been going, whether good or bad. Thank you for being accountable in that way, because it's a really good example to others to let them know that not every day is going to be perfect, but every day can still be a day of effort that you put in. Thank you, Happy Bunny. Lynn with a $10 donation. Lynn, thank you so much as well. You're amazing, Lynn. Thank you. Lynn's been around for a while. Lynn has been a big supporter for a long time. Lynn, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let me finish what I wrote here. Okay. So 100 days that I've been doing this. And for many of you, think about how many days you've shown up here in a row. Have you shown up here day in and day out? Has it helped you? Have you realized that being accountable is motivating? Being accountable shows you that you can still put effort in without throwing away the day. If it does, if it's helpful, if it's inspiring, understand the importance of accountability. Like I said, it's been 100 real days, right? It's not 100 perfect days. It's not 100 days of perfect fasts or perfect eating or perfect exercise. It's been 100 days of effort. It's been 100 days of accountability. You've heard me say it throughout the last 100 days. There were days I didn't want to show up. There were days where I felt bloated, but I stood back here anyway and showed you. There were days where I was tired. There were days I didn't want to stream, but I showed accountability because it was important to me. And it was honestly, it was a way to show all of you that through the practice of imperfect consistency, through the practice of accountability, you can do amazing things. You can start to understand that life doesn't have to be this, okay, I'm going to fast for X amount of days, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to walk away from this thing. Think about how many people have come in here and shared their journey over the last 100 days. Think about, and some of you might be watching this right now, who have maybe shared some really, really big goals and then didn't come back to share because you couldn't show up for yourself in that way. And I'm not saying that you're wrong in that instance, or you push too hard in that instance, but maybe it's a way for you to reflect and tell yourself, okay, maybe I couldn't have done the 10 days, but I'm glad that I put the effort in. I'm glad that I give myself a goal, but I also need to remind myself, that you still need to show up. The journey doesn't end. There's no reason to start over. There's no reason to walk away from this. It's just time to show up for yourself. I'm just going to read my notes here because sometimes it's hard for me to go off of the cuff, especially when I'm feeling a certain way. But I wrote here, accountability isn't about perfection. It's showing up even when it's not glamorous, even when it's not pretty, right? That's the power of accountability, is to still show up even on the bad days. It's about transparency. It's about being seen on all of those days. Think about how many times that I stood back here and I said, I feel really bloated, but I was still allowing myself to be seen because I know what old Jerome would do. Old Jerome would hide. Old Jerome would put on a big pair of baggy clothes. Old Jerome would not want to show up. Old Jerome wouldn't go live on the live stream. Old Jerome would have found an excuse. Old Jerome would have pushed a longer fast and said, let me just fast for 3 days and then come back and then pretend that nothing ever happened. That's what old Jerome would do. But today, Jerome, right? This version of me is okay saying, hey, I'm struggling right now. Hey, it's a hard day right now. You'll see this even in my refeed yesterday. Yesterday's refeed was a little out of control. And I want to share that because I think it's really important to show that sometimes we struggle. And if we do, and we can show up for ourselves and we can learn from it, that is how we grow. That is how we change our habits. This is how we create good ones and start to eliminate bad ones. The last two things that I've wrote here is, this is what accountability looks like in real time, because it truly is. I have been doing this for 100 days in a row. This is what this looks like in real time. Not because I did it perfectly, but because I did it anyway. Because I showed up anyway. So the last thing I wrote here is, here's to another 100 days of showing up. Yes, it might not be every day on a live stream, but it doesn't mean that I turn away from the days I'm not live streaming. I hope the same for you as well. On the days that I am not able to live stream, I hope that you can continue showing up for yourself and for each other. So here's to another 100 days of showing up imperfectly, consistently, and together. Okay, so with that being said, with all of the chat in here right now, and hopefully I didn't miss any of the donations. Thank you all for the slew of donations at the start here. But I want to get into how everyone's doing. Over the last 100 days, this live stream has transformed into something completely different. When I used to do my Sunday night live streams, I would say what I needed to say. Sometimes it would take a good hour, and then I would answer questions at the end. Today, it's flip-flopped. I usually go and read and see how people are doing, so we can, in a lot of ways, have some type of a live coaching session, some type of a reminder that you're not alone on your journey. And I hope that's been helpful for you. I hope that me showing up every day has shown you what real life looks like. When I poke at my belly, when I pinch at my belly, when I pull on my loose skin, I don't want to hide anymore. That's my accountability in that way. So you'll notice, if any of you are new here, people are sharing their journey, and this is where I take some time and we actually go through other people's journeys, whether good or bad. It's an opportunity for you to share and see how you're doing. And hopefully it encourages you to keep pushing on, to know that you're not alone on your journey. I have been doing this for nearly 2 years now. It's a little crazy to me because, yes, this is 100 days of live streaming in a row, but in 2 days from now, I will be celebrating 2 years of my journey. I started my journey on November 6th, 2023. I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months, but I really do think the bigger accomplishment since losing that weight is keeping it off since then. Has it been perfect since then? No, it hasn't. My weight has gone up and gone down and gone up and gone down. But overall, I've managed to keep the weight off. So let's go ahead. Let's dig into the chat here and see how everyone else is doing. Maggie May says, hold on, I need to change. Sometimes my, there we go. Sometimes my layout changes on its own. I don't know why. Maggie May says, 24 hours into my 44-hour fast, up a pound after my 20% day. Maggie May just celebrated her birthday. And I mean, to be up a pound doesn't sound like a bad thing at all. And you're only halfway through that part of the fast, a little over halfway. So I'm sure tomorrow that weight will push itself down. Walk 30 minutes 2 times today already. Feeling great. I love that for you, Maggie May. Actually, Maggie says 46 hours. Hopefully that's what you meant, or you were correcting it. Either way, where you're at right now, for anybody who's watching this, Maggie May had a quote unquote 20% day where Maggie May celebrated her birthday, ate a little out of her usual range of foods, maybe not the cleanest, but also realize that when it comes to weight, all you have to do is push yourself back into a fast, apply other weight loss levers outside of just fasting. Maggie May walked an hour today, did 2 30-minute walks, didn't even put an hour of walk, because sometimes what ends up happening with a lot of people is you dedicate 45 minutes or an hour or longer than that to one specific workout regimen. And that has to be the hardest and longest and whatever, because we get so used to that all or nothing mindset. And Maggie May's like, I'll just cut it up into 2 30-minute sessions. Remember, we don't always have to go super hard all the time. Also, for people who exercise, you have the entire day to get steps in. You have the entire day to do small things throughout the day to help yourself. Thank you for sharing with us, Maggie May. Did I get another donation? I did. Peace to all with a $10 super chat. Peace to all with a $10 donation. Says 3 cheers for Jerome. Peace to all. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here on a regular basis and continuing to share your journey with us as well. Thank you for the support. Thank you, everyone, for all the support today. It means so much to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Deja says, doing my full arm day plus deep core and weighted vest incline walk today. Sounds like a lot. My favorite workout day. I'm curious, do people like leg days or upper body days better? Leg days suck. I'm the same way, Deja. I prefer upper body days. I don't care for leg days that much, but I do them. And if I do leg day too hard, sometimes I get so sore that it's hard to walk sometimes. But hopefully you have a good workout day today. Thank you for sharing with us, Deja. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me scroll down here. Ian says, I ended my timer at 17 hours for a light breakfast, had a light lunch after, 1.4 pounds up, but not too bothered. Low calorie eating and 10,000 daily steps will fix that. And it absolutely will. Ian has been here now sharing his journey day in and day out. And at the same time, as Ian has been sharing this, Ian's dropped, if I remember correctly, 40 pounds. So oh my goodness, I just saw, you guys, let me finish sharing this with Ian. Ian's lost 40 pounds, not by doing 3-day fasts, 5-day fasts, 1-week fasts, but by implementing shorter fasts, getting steps in, controlling his calories. And Ian also realizes there are going to be some days where I might not fast that long. I might eat an extra meal, and sometimes the weight will push itself back up. But if I continue to show up on a regular basis, I can do great things. And Ian is continuing to push that scale down. So Ian, congrats on continuing to practice imperfect consistency. I look forward, obviously, to your continued success on your journey. Goodness, Melly Mel just donated $50. Melly Mel, thank you for your support. Jesus, this is it's such a huge donation. All of you, thank you so much. Melly Mel with a $50 donation says, thank you so much for showing up for yourself. I'm guessing is what you're saying. And us for these past 100 days. You're very welcome. Also, just remember, this is also very helpful for me, and it's one of the reasons I do it. You've helped me to stay consistent these past 2.5 months. I'm glad. I love when I can read this and know that I have impacted somebody for the better in this way. I've had ups and downs, but with imperfect consistency, I've come so much I'm trying not to be emotional about it. I've come so much further than I had the past few years. And this is what I love to see. Melly Mel, I'm proud of you. I am. And I know that you showed up for us last Wednesday on our evening live stream, and I appreciate you sharing with us your journey. I love that for many of us, imperfect consistency is, if you think about it, imperfect consistency is a very logical thing. It's very like common sense, but I think many of us get stuck in this, I got to do the best, longest fast. I got to eat the best, perfect way. And there's nothing wrong if you want to push hard, but I know that many of us will then completely derail and do no good for ourselves the moment we can't do something perfectly. And hopefully, as many of you have watched me do these last 100 days, you saw me drop 30 pounds quickly. And then you saw me hit new lows. You also saw me get stuck at around the same weight for a while. But through imperfect consistency, I'm continuing to find progress, not by fasting for super long amounts of time, even though if it's something I wanted to do, I could. I just want to show people that you can still do great things without having to go 100 all day, every day. Melly Mel, thank you for the huge, huge donation. Thank you for your continued support as well. I mean, I know this is going to sound weird, but I look at many of you as good friends at this point. I've lost so much when I was gone for 2+ years, when I completely hid myself from everyone. I've lost family members who don't talk to me, friends who don't talk to me because when I was gone for 2+ years, a lot of people took it as a snub on them. And I get it. I understand. Being completely away or absent from somebody for 2+ years will do that. And I own that. And I fucked up. And to know after coming back and being able to coach people and talk to people and be real with people, it's given me a chance to build new relationships and understand that you can still find good people. I don't know. That's a completely different conversation there. But anyway, I guess what I'm just trying to say is I'm very appreciative to all of you that are here today. Melly Mel, thank you again for the $50 donation. Thank you so much for that support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna try to find my place here if I can find it. Tommy says, "Sup, J100." I love that. I think Tommy's new job when Tommy shows up is to find a different nickname for me. Your boy weighed in at 303 pounds this morning. Thanks, J100, for keeping me accountable and for the peeps in here for always being awesome. J100, enjoy your day off. Tomorrow is what Tommy's saying. You deserve it. Hashtag JRome. People used to call me that back in high school. Tommy, thank you for sharing with us. Just FYI, I mean, technically I won't be doing this live stream tomorrow, but I will be doing our accountability live stream tomorrow for people who are part of the Finally Fasting fam. We will be doing that live stream. I just won't be doing 2 live streams in a day. Actually, and I might talk about that in a little bit, why these live streams aren't going to be daily. I mean, obviously, I think you all know that it's just very hard to do them on a daily basis, but there's more to it than that. But Tommy, thanks for sharing your journey with us. I don't know how it is for you to share where you're at currently weight-wise. Tommy has shared over the last few weeks ups and downs and struggles here and there, but Tommy has also figured out a couple of things to help, either through eating super late at night or stopping eating super late at night, or finding ways to prolong his fast. So Tommy, please continue to keep us posted. Thank you for sharing with us, Tommy. Kevin says 65 hours into a 155-hour fast. Went to the Y, 3 towns over for the sauna. A quick 20-minute trip unless I leave after 6 a.m. Then I get stuck in Southern California traffic and it takes me an hour. I can only imagine. I used to live in Southern Cal, Kevin. I used to live in LA. And I still have family who lives in Santa Monica. And I remember when I lived in LA, they would tell me, why don't you come by for the weekend? And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to take forever just to get to Santa Monica. And then when I would tell them to come down to LA, they'd never do it because traffic is so bad. So I can only imagine. But hopefully the sauna was worth it to you. Congrats on congrats on being 65 hours in. Kevin has been grinding these 155s over and over and over. I can't remember how far or how close you are to goal at this point, Kevin, but you keep doing the damn thing. So continue to keep us posted. I love that for you. Hopefully you're feeling good. Thanks for sharing with us, Kevin. Elle says, I'll miss the first part of the stream. All good. Elle says, I'm 47 hours into my 72, feeling good. So halfway through. Is that halfway? That's more than halfway. Feeling good. Hope you're all doing well. Congrats, Elle. I'm 47 hours in. Look forward to hearing what your progress looks like. I mean, tomorrow, I'm sure you'll be on our Wednesday live stream. So thanks for sharing with us, Elle. Theo says, hey, I'm new here. Hi, Theo. Welcome. Welcome. Actually, Theo, what is your journey looking like? How are things going? I'll read it a little later in the chat. Miss Peaceful One with another $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for your continued support. Miss Peaceful One has been supporting for such a long time now as well. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat says, it isn't weird, Jerome, seeing us as friends. You skipped me again. I did? I didn't mean to. Hold on. I totally did not mean to. Let me scroll back up there. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. See, this is what happens. Where am I at here on my... Oh, I skipped a lot. I skipped Mandla as well. Miss Peaceful One says, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Definitely. 44 hours into my fast. Congrats on 44, Miss Peaceful One. I'm feeling great and pretty light. I believe I'll kill the month of November. Really feeling strong. That's awesome. That's great. I'm wondering for you, Miss Peaceful One, what makes this month feel that way? Is there something that you can share with the rest of the chat that makes you feel that way, that makes you feel like November is going to be better than the past months? Just curious, maybe just to help motivate others as well. Happy day 100, Jerome. Thank you, Miss Peaceful One. Thank you. And thank you for the generous donations. I appreciate you. Congrats on being 44 hours in. This Peaceful One has done a lot of flexible fasting in different lengths of time, not always long ones, sometimes having a back-to-back day, but continuing to show up regardless. Mandla also says, hello, Finally Fasting fam, day 35 of my journey. Congrats on being 5 weeks in. I'm currently 53 hours into my 72. I love that for you, Mandla. Thank you for sharing with us. Hopefully these, to me, it sounds like, because you've been pushing these longer fasts as well. To me, it sounds like you're running on automatic. It sounds like you pretty much have this nailed down. But like any of us who are in here right now, just because it might feel automatic right now doesn't mean that there might be days where we feel burnt out, that we feel a little tired, that we feel off of our game. No shame, no guilt, no embarrassment if we have to break early. It just means maybe a cleaner refeed and then going again. Thanks for sharing with us, Mandla. Okay, let me see if I can get back to the spot that I need to get back to. Aisha says, I'm back in the 200s. I've been eating back-to-back days. Aisha, I know maybe this wasn't meant for me directly. Hopefully you're okay with me sharing this with you and maybe just a quick conversation with you. But, and you don't have to answer. I mean, entirely up to you, but how are you feeling? How are you feeling being back at this weight? Is it deflating for you? Does it feel defeating for you? For you to eat back-to-back days, do you think maybe you're feeling a little burnt out? How have the refeeds been? Have they been in control? Have they been hard? Do you feel like you're in control when it comes to that? These are questions that I ask people when I coach, and I ask them to you. Maybe you don't have to answer here. Maybe something for you to reflect on. But I'll be sure to read it later today after the live stream ends, because I always read through chat anyway, just to see how everyone's doing. Do you have a plan on what's coming next? I'm just wondering where you're at in your head. I don't know if you have the all or nothing mindset happening right now. I'm just hoping that, you're feeling okay and not feeling like things are too rough at this point. I mean, for you to say I'm hanging in there, it sounds like you're doing all right, but I'm just curious out of my own curiosity. So please feel free to keep me posted. And if you don't want to, I totally understand as well. Just thought I would ask. Sid says, broke my fast last night after 50 hours. Congrats on a 50. I believe you were pushing for something longer, 12 hours into a hopefully 7-day fast. Gained 3 pounds from the refeed. I may keep the fast open-ended if I get to 7 days, because the hard part is just starting. And I'm proud of you, Sid. I really am. For those that don't know, Sid came in here pushing a 30-day fast, got through 20 days. And for many people who push long fasts, sometimes the harder part is doing shorter fasts and getting back into a fast again, just like Sid is saying. But I'm going to remind Sid and anybody else here who has run into the situation where you might be saying to yourself, the hardest part is always starting. I cannot tell you how many people I have coached or talked to who tell me that exact same thing. Once I can just get past the first day, once I can get 2 days in, once I can get 3 days in, then it's easy. I get that. I understand that. For many people, the hard part is starting. And this is where I tell people, this is where sometimes shorter fasts make a difference. Sometimes you need to ask yourself, am I pushing too hard right now? Do I need to take a step back? And hopefully, as Sid has been sharing his journey for, I don't know how long it's been now, Sid, but it's been a while, right? I hope that as you've been doing this, you are continuing to work on that fasting muscle. You are continuing to also understand that shorter fasts are still beneficial. A 50-hour fast is still great, that there's still practice that needs to be done on the way that you refeed. And obviously, I don't know exactly how you refeed, but I think for anybody who's watching this right now, remember, if you don't fast for as long as you thought and you break early, there's still a lot of work that can be done on how long you refeed for, on how clean you refeed for, on limiting your calories, on keeping the calories in check, on performing cardio, working on your cardio health, your heart, working on strength training, increasing your metabolism, maintaining muscle, building muscle, working on your sleep. So thank you for sharing with us, Sid. I look forward to hearing your journey as the days continue on. Happy Bunny says, hi, I fasted for 20 hours. You know what? I didn't even do my hellos today. And I know I'm not going to be able to say hi to everyone because I just saw Judy saying hello to all. So I'll just try to say hello as I scroll down here. So much has happened in the first 40 minutes, so I apologize. But please know, I do say hi to you all. Know that I'm not trying to purposely not say hi. Happy Bunny says, I fasted for 20 hours today. Tried to be sensible with breaking my fast. I love that for you, Happy Bunny. You're putting work in. It's been a weird day. I got a timer app, which helped me. I could visually see the time and wanted to go longer. And again, not everybody needs to use a timer. Not everyone needs to hit a timer, but there's a reason that I use it because it keeps me accountable. And for you, Happy Bunny, for you to hit a timer and see that, and if it's encouraging for you, use it. Take advantage of that. Use that to help you push forward. Congrats on being 20 hours in. Congrats on your 20-hour fast. Congrats on being sensible with breaking your fast, realizing that it's not just about the fast, but the way you eat as well. Keep us posted on your journey as always. Thank you for sharing with us, Happy Bunny. Sleck says 22 hours fasted. Can't decide if I'll break tonight around 34 hours or tomorrow around 48 plus. Gonna try to go as long as I can. Either way, Sleck, you know what's really interesting, because I think with Sleck especially, Sleck was having a hard time at the beginning of his journey. And right, if I'm remembering correctly, but now you're putting in these longer fasts. It looks like that fasting muscle has been building. So whether you break at 34, if you break at 34, then just be mindful with the eating. If the mindful eating doesn't go according to plan, then you have another opportunity to try again. If you go longer than that, keep us posted. I'd love to hear where you're at tomorrow. Thanks for sharing with us, Slack. Okay, let me scroll down here. Let me just make sure I am not missing anyone. If I do miss somebody, please just keep me posted in the chat. X1, nice to see you. What's up, chat? I'm new to the community. Currently, I'm 64 hours fasted. Congrats. How long are you planning to go for? What's the plan after that? This is where I'm putting some accountability on you, X1. Keep me posted in the chat because I'll read it later. Do you plan on going longer? Do you plan on breaking soon? What does the refeed look like for you? And what is the plan afterwards? Do you have a backup plan if it doesn't go according to your current plan? Keep me posted. And thanks for sharing with us, X1. And you guys are ridiculous. L, what are you doing? L just donated $100. L, my goodness. L, thank you for the gigantic donation. Oh my God. Elle just donated $100. Elle just said, happy day 100. Thanks for keeping all of us inspired. Thanks for keeping us all inspired. You're very welcome. This community has been a game changer for my fasting journey, and it would not exist without you. I'm glad that I can help bring a lot of us together. I'm glad that I can help people find success in what they're doing. It truly means so much to me. What I'm doing today has, and I've said this to other people as well, but there has been nothing more fulfilling in my career, in the things that I have done, than what I'm doing today. And being able to help people and being able to show people that, hey, we don't have to do what everybody says is the only plan that's going to work, but that everyone's journey is going to be different and individualized, but we all have the same goals. Elle, I'm so proud of you for continuing your journey and sharing with us. And I mean, even on our Wednesdays, coming on, our chats and sharing your journey with us. I love that you're able to get through your fasts and do what you need to do. And I know you're going to get to your goals. I know many people here will get there as long as they continue to show up. Elle, thank you for the $100 donation. You guys are insane. Elle, that's insane, because Elle, you've given so much support already prior to this. Elle, thank you for the $100 donation. I don't know what else to do except to do this. Elle, thank you so much. I mean, I really do hope that the encouragement and the knowledge that I'm trying to share with you all. And remember, as I say this, I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm somebody that has lived through this personal experience. And I'm telling you right now, if you continue to show up for yourself every day, whether it be showing up here on these live streams or showing up for yourself and maybe journaling for yourself, using a spreadsheet like I do and writing down your notes, I'm telling you, you can find success in just showing up in that way, doing the small things that will build your routine, that will work on your habits. I truly believe in good, healthy habits, in building that. I truly believe in breaking your bad ones, however bad they might be. It doesn't mean you're going to break them tomorrow. They're not going to break immediately. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes accountability. Elle, thank you for the $100 donation. Thank you. Thank you. This is the best I can do. So thank you so much, Elle. I appreciate it. Thank you all for all the donations today. You guys are ridiculous. You truly are, all of you, in a good way, not in a bad way. E-Gunner, nice to see you. Cap Rising, welcome. Sydney, nice to see you as well. Although I think I said hi to you earlier. You donated earlier. Margaret from Facebook, hi. Margaret says, happy 100 days. How was your refeed? My refeed was good, but it was a little out of control, and I'm going to talk about that today. Ray, welcome. Nice to see you. I see what happened here. Miss Peaceful One, donation time. Let's reach $100. Thanks, Miss Peaceful One. You know what? I saw Deja talk about that as well in chat a couple of days ago. I'm so thankful for all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for your support. Tay TV says, I started intermittent fasting a year ago to the month after finding this channel. Congrats on doing intermittent fasting now for a year. After watching and catching playbacks, I love, or I built my fasting muscle to the point where I OMAD every day. Congrats to you, Tay TV. Congrats. What has your journey been like since then? I mean, you don't have to share the specifics with us. I ask out of curiosity. You can share with me or with the chat if you'd like. I always like to know. When I hear people's journeys and I hear what they've been doing, it inspires me as well. So I'm glad that you found success doing what you've been doing. I'm glad that I could be a part of that in a maybe indirect and maybe a direct way at the same time. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you sharing, and thank you for sharing your story with us. E-Gunner says currently 17 hours strong. Let's keep this up. Congrats on 17 hours in, E-Gunner. How long are you going for? Do you have a number in mind there? The Monica 82. Hello, welcome, Angie. Nice to see you as well. Trumpet says, hi, everyone. Second day of my water fast, back on it. I love that for you, Trumpet. How long are you going for? What's the plan? What's the plan after? Do you have a backup plan? Keep us posted, Trumpet. Thank you for sharing. Let me scroll down here. K Betters, hello. Oh, there's so many kind words, and I'm very thankful. Thank you so much. If any of you are new here or you see me looking this way, it's because I'm reading through chat. So if any of you are new and you want to share maybe a little bit of your journey, or even if you're struggling, please feel free to share with us. Thanks, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Welcome. Bill, nice to see you as well. So Dak, you weren't a member, but you are now. So thanks. Thank you. Okay, I'm scrolling down here. Dixie says, starting today, I know I can do this. Dixie, you can. And like I've asked many people, what is your plan? How long are you fasting for? And I'll tell you right now, whatever number of hours you're fasting for or how many days you're fasting for, I'm also going to remind you to have a backup plan. And what I mean by that is if you don't fast for as long as you thought you would, no shame, no guilt, no embarrassment, just continue to show up. Refeed, hit your timer, don't walk away from it. Refeed, whatever that looks like. If you break early, then that might mean for you, it's time to keep your calories in check. It's time to eat a little cleaner. If you tend to overeat and that happens, then that happens. But the moment you swallow your last bite, you hit your timer and you go again. And if you want, keep us posted and let us know how that goes. So yes, you can do this. Anybody who's watching this right now, you can do this. It doesn't mean that it has to be a 3-day fast off the bat, 7-day fast off the bat. It can be. You can strive for big things, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Just remember, do not walk away from your journey. Continue to show up. Thanks for sharing with us, Dixie. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me scroll down here. I'm not trying to read all the chat because I'm going to get emotional with it. Ronnie says, hey, everyone, I'm working, but wanted to say hello. Hi, Ronnie. Welcome. Keep up the good work all. Jerome's a real boss. I released 10 pounds since October 3. Congrats, Ronnie, on the 10 pounds. Please continue to keep us posted on your journey. Thanks for sharing. Goddess of Wands says, hey, Jerome, how's everyone? I'm on week 2 of fasting. I decided to fast Sunday through Saturday, break my fast with bone broth, Saturday night refeed, Sunday right back into my fasting. I also meal prepped. How's it going, Goddess? I mean, a Sunday to Saturday fast is 6 days. So we're talking, I'm trying to do my math here, 144 hours. Is that correct? Or at least somewhere around there. Hopefully you had a good refeed and then you're right back on it. And remember, the only advice I have for you, Goddess, is regardless of how long you go this time, I don't know if you're planning to do another 6-day or 100+ hour fast, but whatever that number is, keep us posted. I know you've been in here a couple times now. So I'm also wondering, just let me know, how did that fast go? Did it feel good? Was it easy? Did you refeed enough to push you through another longer fast? I mean, just let us know. Keep us posted. Thank you for sharing, Goddess. Kevin just became a new part of the Finally Fasting fam. Kevin, it is nice to have you be part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we please throw some F's up for Kevin? If you are a member, you have this emoji. You can also throw up the clock one. I didn't mean to do a middle finger there. Or you can do a custom emoji. Kevin, thank you for your support. Thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kevin. Okay, let me get back in here in chat. Writer family, hello, welcome. Writer family says, just had a marvelous lunch. Hit my timer. I love that you hit your timer. Writer, just let me know. What did you eat? Make me jealous. I'm fasting today. So sometimes I like vicariously living through other people's refeeds. Okay, let me scroll down here just to see if anybody else shared anything. Savvy B, nice to see you. Fax me, hello. Hi, do people treat you differently now that you lost weight? Can you do a bison that? What's a bison that? Fax me, people have asked me this before, and yeah, people do treat me differently. Not everyone, but it is, or it does happen. It has happened. I don't know if you're looking for specifics, but I will say this. As somebody who has been morbidly obese his entire life, the way people treat me as somebody who is skinnier or average or whatever you want to call it is in some ways, for some people, profoundly different. As far as doing a bison that, I don't know what that is. Fax me also says, what are the differences you have seen and been experiencing with being a thin person now? Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think I'm thin. It's weird. I don't know if it's because I've been morbidly obese my entire life, but I can't even identify myself as skinny or thin in that way. What are the differences I've seen? I don't know if you're talking about how people treat me or you're talking about my physical. Obviously, I fit into smaller clothes. I wear this shirt I'm wearing right now that has bananas on it. This is a boy shirt. I have to shop at the boys department because my clothes are, I have to wear smaller clothes. I'm also not tall. I'm only 5'3". So I can literally wear clothes that 12-year-old boys wear or 13-year-old boys wear. Physically, I reversed my type 2 diabetes or put it into remission. I no longer have high blood pressure. I restored my testosterone. I have a ton of energy. I'm 44 years old and I'm in the best shape of my life. I don't get tired running up a flight of stairs. I no longer sweat profusely when other people are just feeling fine. There are a lot of things. But other things about me, though, is my hunger hasn't changed. I still eat the same like I did when I weighed 235 pounds. I don't know why, but that's just who I am. There's a lot to it as well, but those are some of the things. Hi, Sarah from Facebook. It's nice to see you. You want me to make a video? I'll think about it. Right now, there's a lot going on, and I haven't had time to do a lot lately. But I'll definitely think about it. Shauna says 21 hours fasted on a rolling ADF, and I know that, right, Shauna, you've been pretty consistent with the ADF, right? I refed big yesterday. Me too. So did I. Put the scales up. Me too. So I put in the work for leg day. And this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of putting your calories to use. How many of you here attempted a long fast? Maybe you weren't able to fast for that long. So you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to put my calories to use. Or were you that other person that said, I ate too much. Now I feel like shit. So now, because I feel bad about myself, I'm going to eat more. And then what am I going to do after I eat more? I'm going to eat some more. And you know what? I'm going to make this big late lunch be also dinner later. And then I'm going to eat leftovers. And then you put none of those calories to use. You go to bed, you feel shitty because you tell yourself, I'm going to start tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a 5-day fast now. I'm going to offset everything. And here's Shauna putting her calories to use, taking advantage of your calories. This is a good reminder for anybody seeing this right now. How many of you have overate and then didn't put your calories to use? Put your calories to use. Shauna says, I put in the work for leg day. I did housework. I cooked food for others. We've got this. I did the exact same thing. I ate, Shauna, thank you for sharing with us. I ate big yesterday. What did I do after I ate a good amount of calories? Did I say, well, you know what? I'm also going to order DoorDash now. I'm going to order Grubhub and have them deliver something else. I'm going to have them deliver dessert. I'm going to have X amount more food. And then in the morning today, did I say, well, last night was shitty, so let's not live stream today. Let's not be accountable. No, I got up this morning, stepped on the scale like I always do, weighed myself, went for a 45-minute walk, lifted heavy at the gym because I put my calories to use, walked 45 minutes back. And then today on the way to the office, when I got off the train, usually I have to take a bus to get to this office. And I was like, I won't take the bus today. Let me just walk some more. So I did. I put the calories to use because why wouldn't you? How many of you do the opposite of that? You eat bad, you feel like shit, and then you walk away. And then you say, I'm just going to start tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to fast now double the amount of time. When instead you can be taking advantage of the calories today and not digging a deeper hole. Thanks for sharing with us, Shauna. Hopefully that's helpful for anyone who's watching this. The importance of showing up no matter what. Dak says, I'm 10 days into a 12-day fast. Congrats on 10 days in. My third extended fast, and so far my most successful in terms of mood and energy. I love that for you. So what is your longest fast? Have you been doing these rolling at this point? Or for you, do you vary them out, Dak? And I guess the more important question is, when you're not doing extended fasts, what are you doing? Are you working on your other weight loss levers? Anybody who's watching this right now might be wondering, what are other weight loss levers? It's your diet, it's your exercise, it's your sleep, it's your mental health. Are you continuing to work on all of these other things as well? Let us know, Dak, but congrats on being 10 days into your 12-day fast. That's amazing. That's amazing. Sarah from Facebook says, thanks for inspiring me, Jerome. You're very welcome. I'm continuing with ADF, lost 6 pounds so far. Congrats, Sarah. Drinking clove tea throughout the day is helping me suppress my appetite. And I love that you found something that's worked for you, so I don't break my fast. The clove tea has been a game changer for me. I pass by my favorite pastry places. I don't even crave any of it anymore like I used to. And this is exactly what I mean. Sarah, thank you for sharing this, and thank you for sharing maybe something that somebody can take away from this. How many of you, when you're fasting a long period of time, do you have tea? Have any of you tried clove tea? Or have you tried what I've tried? I drink a black iced coffee. I drink a Coke Zero every now and then, or a Pepsi Zero, or a Diet Dr. Pepper, whatever it might be to help me prolong my fast. But when Sarah talks about, I pass my favorite pastry places and I don't even bat an eye. I don't crave it. I live in Chicago. I walk and smell fast food, pizza, ribs, whatever, all day, every day. That's literally how Chicago is if you live in certain parts of Chicago. And I'm the same way. On my fasting days, on a day like today, I don't even bat an eye. I don't think about it. Was it always like this? No. I have caved in. I have craved in that way. I still do every now and then. But I have been putting the work in. I practice putting myself into these situations and learn from it instead of saying, well, I guess I'm going to eat, so let me just cave in and let's forget about everything now. No. You have to keep putting the work in. Every day matters. Every day matters. Remember that. I get wanting to start over. A lot of us like having a clean slate. I'm proud of the people who are sharing where they're at right now because it's November 4th. And I know there are a ton of people who aren't even thinking about their health and wellness right now because all they're thinking about is, well, it's already this deep into the year. Let me just eat whatever I want because the holidays are here. And then I'll start after the holidays end. Really? When is that? December 26th after Christmas? Or is it January 1st? You're literally going to wait 2 months and not take care of yourself when it's only a handful of days during that amount of time. You still have 50 some days where you can do good for yourself. I just want people to get that bigger picture in their head when it comes to this. Thank you for sharing with us, Sarah. Thank you all. I'm just going through chat, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Princess Aria, hi, welcome. Princess, what's your journey look like? Are you on a fasting protocol? Maybe you want to share with us, but welcome either way. Writer Family asks, you guys ever still feel hypoglycemic? I mean, shaky and dizzy. And so I said this yesterday, and you probably know this, Writer Family, but anytime somebody tells me this, I always like to remind them to make sure they're getting their fluids in, or they're taking their electrolytes, or they try something like a 0-calorie drink or even bone broth. And if none of those things work, I always tell people then it's time to break, refeed, and then go again. Yeah, Shauna says here too, when I do, I can usually head it off with electrolytes. So, and I'm sure other people have shared their advice as well. I want people to remember, when you're fasting, yes, at the very beginning, when you fast, especially if you're fasting for a long period of time, sometimes you're going to get these awful side effects. And for me, yes, you can try different things. You can try to hydrate more. You can try a 0-calorie drink. You can try electrolytes. You can try something like minimal calories, like bone broth, or even a piece of fruit. And if you're here and you're like, but a piece of fruit, isn't that breaking? Listen, it doesn't matter if it does. All I'm saying is just try it. Would you rather break with a piece of fruit and see if it can prolong your fast, or would you rather eat 3,000 calories instead? I mean, whatever decision that you decide is up to you, but I'm telling you, take advantage of whatever tools you can. It doesn't have to be a black and white type of fasting way. Do not let other people guilt you into not fasting the quote unquote right way, not eating the quote unquote right way, because they're not you. They don't have to eat the way you do. They don't have to fast the way you do, exercise the way you do. You have to do what's best for you. You have to take care of yourself. We are all here for the same reason. It is to be happy and healthy. That's it, plain and simple. If anybody ever were to debate me on that, I'll be like, listen, we all have the same goal. Can we at least come to that conclusion? And if you can't come to that conclusion with me, that you're not here for happiness and health, then we have nothing else to discuss. Then you shouldn't be here. But I do think we all have to find our ways of getting there, whether it's through fasting, eating better, eating a certain type of way, giving yourself grace, implementing cardio, strength training, whatever it might be. We're all in here for the same reason. And that is why I encourage people to share their journey, because I want people to see what you can do for yourselves and try things out. If you don't like it, if you don't want to eat a piece of fruit, or you have it one day and you're like, that triggered me and I ate too much. Well, there you go. Now you know that you're not going to do it again. But for some other people, if they have bone broth and they're like, that helped me, I was able to make it through the night. There you go. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do that every single time you fast, but if it's helpful for you and it puts you in a severe caloric deficit, why not? If the goal is to lose weight on the scale, if the goal is to lose excess body fat, if the goal is to help increase your health, why wouldn't you do that? You don't have to do it forever. You just have to use the tools that are available for you. Sometimes I get into my rants too, so excuse me when I get into that place sometimes. Chris says, I fasted 18 hours today. Congrats, Chris. What's next? What's after? How was your refeed? Did you keep it clean? Was it a little hard? I mean, what is your plan moving forward? Thanks for sharing with us, Chris. Peace to All says, I'm 21 hours in on my new fast, gained 1 pound on the refeed. Not bad. To gain 1 pound is, to me, is nothing. I would love if my refeeds, I only gained 1 pound, but I'm not so lucky in that way. Going for 56 hours with a break on Thursday. Keep us posted. Peace to all. And here's peace to all sharing flexible fasting. Not every fast has to be the same. Not every fast has to be longer than the previous one. This is learning to fast for a certain amount of lengths and then adjusting the way you eat, adjusting the way you exercise, and moving forward. Thanks, peace to all, for sharing with us. Bajiyama, am I saying that right? Bajiyama, 46 hours into my first 48-hour fast. Congrats, 46 hours in. Yesterday was great. Today, thinking a bit more about food. Well, you only got 2 more hours after that. What's the plan after that, Baji? Is it to roll into another 48? Is your refeed going to be short? Keep me posted. Just curious. Let me know. But congrats on being 46 hours in. Hopefully you'll, because I don't think I've seen you here before. Hopefully you'll continue to show up and keep us posted on your journey. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. I know I probably won't be able to get to everyone, but I will try because we're way over an hour at this point. I still have a lot of work to do, everyone. So I'm going to try to read as much as I can. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, what would it take for me to just do live streams every day or at least 5 or 6 times a week? But that's the hard part, is sometimes the viability of doing it, like for me to make it a full-time job, is not the easiest thing either. But if I could, I would, is I guess what I'm trying to say. JJC says, I'm finding it really difficult to complete a 3-day fast. So JJC, what is your current fasting protocol look like? Have you done a 3-day fast before? I know you've probably shared with us your journey before, but what's difficult about it right now? Is it just getting past the first day? Are you able to get 2 days in? When was the last time you did a 3-day fast? This is a longer conversation, because remember, for you then, are you in that all or nothing type mode? If you're not able to do a 3-day and you break at 22 hours, are you then eating everything known to man? Or do you still have control when it comes to that? And the difficult part is just getting 3 days in, because maybe it just means that you're not there right now. Maybe it just means working on the other things that are just as important as fasting. What are your refeeds look like? Do you have control of that? Do you exercise? Do you have a routine? Do you sleep well? All of these things play a factor, whether some of you like to believe it or not. Having a routine really sets you up for success. But I don't know enough about your journey, JJC, but maybe I'll read about it. Maybe I'll read about it in chat if you're still here and you share with us. Sam says, have you tried a 7-day fast? Yes, many times. I have a good amount of 7-day fasts under my belt. Okay, let me scroll down here. Thanks, Cap Rising. I appreciate the kind words. Okay, let me scroll down here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. The goodness, hi, the goodness. Just refed after a 48-hour, hitting the timer and jumping in again for another 48. Is that the plan? Keep us posted, the goodness. I'd love to know if you're able to roll into another 48. Is this your second one then? Is the plan to just roll into those? Keep us posted either way. Thanks for sharing. Okay, let me scroll down here. Are you asking me, Maggie May? How was my refeed yesterday? I'm going to show you all. I actually have video of it, so I'll show you my refeed yesterday. It was good, but it was a little out of control. Almada says, what time is autophagy tomorrow? So I haven't looked at my calendar just yet, but it will be later in the day. So maybe around, I would say at least after 4 p.m. Central is my guess. It could be maybe a little earlier, but I would say at least after 4 p.m. Central. I will get a better idea when I look at my calendar. I know we're over an hour in. I do have a clearer day today, but I have so much work I have for another client that this is already throwing me behind. But I'll try to see if I can get you that time today, Almatis. Okay, so let me scroll down here just to see if there are other names I haven't seen. The Titanium Woman. I don't think I've seen you here before either. It's that week before period week. I've only been able to fast for 14 to 16 hours. Then when I do eat, I don't eat well. SMH, but we will start again. And that's the important part, the Titanium Woman. I mean, when it comes to the fasting part, don't beat yourself up. 14 to 16 hours, sure, it isn't as long as I typically do. I know there are a lot of people who push longer than that, but hopefully you're not beating yourself up over a 14 to 16 hour fast, especially. And look, I don't have to go through period week like many of you here do. I have coached so many people that when this time comes, it becomes so difficult. And some people get through it. Some people don't. Some people find ways to say, okay, these are the days that I will eat extra or XYZ. There's so many strategies when it comes to this. But like maybe for you, a 14 to 16 hour fast, sure. I'm just, you know, the other part then, right, is the eating part is the hard part. The eating part is where we have to find ways of control. Have you looked into low calorie, high volume foods that are low in calories, but have a lot of volume to give you satiety? Have you looked into prioritizing protein? Have you looked into adjusting the choices that you make that are not starting with processed or ultra processed foods, but eating foods that are more whole foods? There are a lot of ways around this, but keep us posted, the Titanium Woman. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being honest as well, because I know that it's not an easy thing for many of us. Okay, let me just scroll down here to see if there's anything else or anyone else I might have been missing. There's so many people on here. Hey, Skippy, congrats on your 200 days. Not 200, but 100 live streaming straight days. Although, like I said, in 2 days will be 2 years of my journey. But thank you, Hey Skippy. Hi, Julie from Facebook. Nice to see you. Hey Skippy corrected themselves. 100. There you go. Creating good memories. Hello. Scrolling down here. Margaret says, since you won't be doing live streams daily, will you be posting on the community page? I will, Margaret, but I'll be posting them on YouTube. So hopefully you'll be able to jump on YouTube and maybe comment on there if you'd like. I wasn't sure if you're asking on Facebook or YouTube, but it'll be on YouTube where I will be posting accountability posts, just checking in with everyone. So hopefully that's helpful or that makes sense, Margaret. Okay, let me scroll down here. Steph says 18,882 steps today. Congrats, that's a lot of steps. Went for a walk and then rake leaves for exercise. That's great. I'm tired, Grandpa. Oh, I'm tired, Grandpa. Well, that's too, I thought you were calling me Grandpa. I'm like, you know, I could be at this point, right? Maybe, yeah. 44, almost 45. Well, that's just too dang bad. You keep raking leaves. Steph, congrats on 18 or nearly 19,000 steps in. I don't know what your average is, but that's how you take advantage of calories. Okay, so I'm caught up. I love it. I love it. I got through pretty much everyone there. If there's anybody that I missed, please feel free to jump in. I will try to show you up on screen here. If you have a question, please feel free to share that as well. But let's go ahead. Let's get into Nerd Stats. Today is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Today is day 730 of my journey. I am 2 days away, everyone, from 2 years. Is that right? Let me just double check with my math here. 732, 65. Yeah, because was there a leap year? Because this shows more than 2 years. Anyway, I'm nearly 2 years into my journey. Has it been a perfect 730 days? No, it hasn't. And I'm going to hate to break this news to you who are new here, but if you think that your fasting journey, your weight loss journey, your health and wellness journey is going to be perfect, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's not going to be. It will never be perfect. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why we talk about imperfect consistency. That's why we talk about accountability. That's why we talk about giving yourself grace, because it's really important to understand that you will have good days and you will have bad days. But if you can show up for yourself and you can have more good days than bad days, you will find success. How do I know that? Because I am a living, walking example of that. I lost the majority of my weight in less than 5 months, and I've been able to keep it off and maintain it for the last almost 2 years. But it hasn't been without its struggles. I have had bad days. I have had days where I felt burnt out or I ate too much. Hell, yesterday I ate too much. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but I continue to show up. That's the importance of that. Did I miss? I think Angela, hi Angela, says, hi, new here with the wave. Hi Angela, how's it going? Day 9 of a rolling fast today and thought to join a community. I love to see it. Angela, thanks for sharing with us. 9 days is amazing. When you say day 9 of rolling fast, does that mean that you're 9 days fasted, or have you been rolling doing this for the last 9 days? Either way, congratulations. I look forward to you continuing to share with us on our lives, but keep us posted. Thanks for sharing with us. I love that for you. Actually, let me know too when I read later in the chat. What is your plan? What does that look like for you moving forward? Okay, back to nerd stats, everyone. 730 days. In the last 104 days of my journey, because yes, today is 100 days of live streaming in a row, but even then, if you look, the 4 days that I wasn't live streaming just yet, that was because I felt embarrassed about gaining 30 pounds and I wanted to at least get back into a rolling fast protocol before I showed my face again. But that's the difficulty in this. And that's why I talk about the importance of showing up. In the last 104 days, I have done a slew of different fasts, short ones, long ones. Some days I'll eat back to back. You'll see a lot of ADF here, a lot of alternate day fasts, but you'll also see some longer fasts, a 93-hour fast, 65-hour fasts, and then days where I'll eat under 3,000 calories, days where I'll eat close to 10,000 calories. But even during that time, I have continued to drop weight and keep it off. I'm going to break into the next slide. I want to talk about my refeed, but I have to pee. Every time I have a big refeed, just FYI for anyone who's wondering, anytime I have a big refeed and I eat a lot, the next day on a fast, I start to release all of that water weight. It happens. So give me 2 minutes. I will be right back. What I need to do is I need to like add something here that like plays something. I don't know what it would be, but maybe next time. For now, please talk amongst yourselves for the next 2 minutes, but I'll be right back. All right. Okay. I'm back. That's not the right screen. Why is this not? There we go. You know what? I just realized something too, and I don't know if I can try this. I'm gonna try something. What I need to do next time when I have to like go pee, like I did just now, is I just saw somebody just joined. Okay, hold on here. Before I do that though, I just want to try this one thing. I think there's a way to show chat on the screen. Maybe not. I thought there would be. I think there's a way to do it. I just have to figure it out. That's okay. Next time. Okay. Anyway, I'm back. Angela just became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Angela, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. For anybody who's a my hands are wet. For anyone who's a Finally Fasting fam member, can we throw some F's up for Angela? Angela, you can throw the F's up too if you'd like, or a custom emoji that's there. Thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I just realized I said my hand is wet, and it's not wet because I peed on it. I washed my hands. So I'm not gross, guys. Okay. Okay. So let's get back into my nerd stats here. I have done a bunch of different things over the last 104 days, but I have, did somebody else join? The Titanium Woman also became part of the Finally Fasting fam. The Titanium Woman, both of you, thank you so much for being part of the fam. I don't know how many. I think it's only a couple more memberships, and then I think I get a new emoji. So the Titanium Woman, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we just throw some more F's up? Or if you are tired of throwing F's up, you can throw the clock one up or whatever custom emoji I have put out there. The Titanium Woman, thank you for being part of the fam. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Back to the nerd stats. Okay, so I have done a whole bunch of different fasts is what I'm trying to say. I have had days where I went on vacation. I've had days where I ate a ton of calories, but regardless of that, I have continued to keep the weight off. I've continued to lose weight since then. I hit my lowest weight not too long ago at 138.2. When I say my lowest weight, it was the lowest weight that I've hit in about 15 months, in over a year. And I'm still continuing to work on that. Currently, I am, if I can get this up here without it throwing me 8 million ads. It doesn't really throw 8 million. I just get an ad every now and then. Just, I don't like it. Oh no, I didn't mean to end it. I'm currently 16 hours and 58 minutes fasted. I ended it. I didn't mean to end it. I'll fix it later. I'm almost 17 hours into my fast, but I am not breaking at all today. Yes, I hit that button there by accident, but I'm not breaking at all today. I am pushing through. I'm not eating at all. And well, I'm actually going to talk about that in a second here, because I have been doing a slew of ADFs, alternate day fasts, eating every other day, fasting every other day, eating every other day, fasting every other day. And I found a lot of success doing that. But yesterday was my refeed. And one of the reasons I've been very successful is because I've been learning to really keep my calories in check. For somebody like me who used to eat 6,000 to 7,000 calories after every refeed, I have been finding a lot of success eating somewhere around 3,200 to 3,400, maybe up to 3,500 every now and then. Sometimes I'll eat under 3,000. It's taken a lot of time for me to get there. It's not the easiest still. The diet part is the hardest part for me. And yesterday, the goal was the same, to eat under 3,000 calories and to keep the protein above 190. But let's take a look and see what my refed looked like yesterday. Yesterday, I started off with cocktail shrimp. I got this because it's an easy way to get a lot of protein and keep the calories low. Yes, I do eat the tail. I have realized it grosses other people out, but I do eat the tail when I eat cocktail shrimp. I don't know if any of you do as well. Not that you have to. I'm just saying that I did. I had a bag, or I had broccoli and cauliflower just bagged that you throw in the microwave. Nothing special. I was just trying to get more volume in, get a bunch of micronutrients in, get my fiber in. Afterwards, I had about a pound of Brussels sprouts. This isn't a surprise. This is something that I eat on a regular basis, one of my favorite vegetables. I saw in chat that Brussels sprouts probably will not be readily available in the Philippines, but that's okay. I did eat it with some balsamic vinegar. I just use it as a dipping sauce. Again, about a pound of that, a whole bag of bagged vegetables, and a good amount of cocktail shrimp. And then I had a whole thing of corn. This is also just out of the microwave. I just added a little salt in it. I was going to add butter, but I was like, oh, I'll just try to save on the calories. And after that, this is a huge bowl of 3 turkey sausages, 3 eggs, some stewed tomatoes, and some white rice. One of my favorite things to eat now. I love eating this because the sausages are still low calorie wise, and it's a lot of volume. It really hit the spot for me. Afterwards, I had 3 bananas. These are pretty ripe. I still have 2 more that might be too ripe by the time I eat them, but 3 bananas after that. And then afterwards, I went back to what I've normally been eating. This is a gigantic bowl of sugar-free vanilla pudding with canned pumpkin, with, you see, with the Salerno cookies there, with protein milk. And I didn't put protein powder because I'm a little tired of the protein powder I've been eating. And I was already above the protein count I was at. And I ate them with these Salerno butter cookies. And that, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, because I'm just waiting to see if there's another scene here. I think this might be it. That was my refeed yesterday. Now, here's the problem. So you all know that the cookie part is the hard part for me, whether it's the Biscoff cookies or the digestive tea biscuits or lately these butter cookies. Last night, I told myself, I portioned it out. I told myself, eat 3 servings of these cookies, 15 of them. 15 of them ends up being 450 calories and 6 grams of protein. The numbers are awful on it. There's barely any nutrition in it. It's just straight up processed cookies, right? But I give myself grace and I give myself the opportunity to have it, but I'm trying to teach myself control. Well, yesterday I ate 30 of them. So I ate 6 servings instead. That ended up being 900 calories and 12 grams of protein, I believe. Now, I almost ended up breaking another box open. That's how bad it got. And I told myself, Jerome, you are not going down this route. I ate 30 cookies. I should have had only 15. And yes, Maggie. Maggie says 30. Yes, I ate 30 of those yesterday. And the thing is, I could have easily eaten another box. That is how my appetite is. And you saw everything I ate, right? You saw all that cocktail shrimp. I believe that was like 325 grams of cocktail shrimp, a little under a pound. I ate an entire bag of broccoli and cauliflower, a pound of Brussels sprouts. That was over a pound of Brussels sprouts. I ate an entire bag of corn that you put in the microwave. I ate, I think it was like 325 grams of white rice, 3 fried eggs, 3 turkey sausages, about 100 grams of stewed tomatoes, 3 bananas, that entire thing of sugar-free Jell-O pudding, which by the way, the sugar-free Jell-O pudding that I eat is a family-sized box with 240 grams of protein milk, 250 grams of canned pumpkin, and 30 butter cookies. And so instead of breaking open another box of the butter cookies, I went to the cabinet and I found one of my protein bars that I ate, and I had the protein bar. So after all of that, I'm just going to share this here. My refeed yesterday, if you look at the very bottom, was 3,900 calories. So first of all, I'm very thankful that it didn't go too high. I'm glad it wasn't 5,000. I'm glad it wasn't 7,500. But this is still getting into 20% territory. Anything over 4,000 for me, I consider 20% territory. Again, these are just numbers that I make up for myself, but I also know that I don't have to have 4,000 calories on that day. Here's the thing is I'm glad it wasn't over 4,000. I'm glad it wasn't 5,000. I know that I can easily overeat and I can just keep going and going and going. I can easily eat 7,000 calories, 10,000 calories. But I also know this is still an issue. In no way whatsoever should I be eating 30 butter cookies like that. But I get it. It happens. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm not going to say, well, time to throw in the towel. Let me just eat this entire box and order Grubhub and go get a pumpkin pie, right? I still put control where I needed to put control in. Last night, after all of that, I said, okay, eat this protein bar. Eat this protein bar, keep it moving. And that's what I did. This morning, when I woke up, I went for my walk. I lifted weights. I put the calories to use. I didn't throw away the day. I showed up here. I'm currently live streaming. I'm doing what I have to do. Now, here's I don't want to call it a conundrum, but because of yesterday, I told myself, okay, it's time to, and this is where I was having like my own dilemma because I was like, should I fast longer? Should I add another day of fasting in? And sometimes that type of thinking can be very all or nothing, because how many of you overate and then said, well, you know what? I'm just going to eat whatever I want. And then I'm going to push a super long fast. So the thing for me though, is I also know that pushing anything longer than like my alternate day is still not difficult. I know I can push a 65. I know I can push a 90. So I told myself that I would push a 65 because I was close to 4,000 and I'm still coming off of my other 20% day where I ate 5,500 calories. And I'll tell you right now, I have a lot of 20% days coming because I have friends I'm going to be going out with, and we're going to all you can eat places. And I have friends that are trying to get me to go X, Y, and Z before I move out of the country. So I told myself, just put a longer fast in because that will help offset some of these other days. So with that being said, I'm fasting all day today and I will be fasting all day tomorrow. I haven't done a 65 in a minute. So I'm doing a 65-hour fast at this point. Now, I want to remind people, if you overeat, it doesn't mean you have to push a longer fast to counterbalance that. You can if you want, but if you do that and it's restricting you so much that you end up breaking early and then eating everything, that is a sign that it might not be time to do that. I've been trying to lead by example by doing ADF on a regular basis, and I've shown that you can still lose weight despite having some bigger eating days, but I have bigger eating days coming down the road for me. The month of October, I think I had 20% days. This month for November, even before I move out of the country, I'm going to have a good number of 20% days under my belt. So this is me trying to like find a little balance here and there. Happy Bunny says, how many calories are the cookies? So 5 cookies are 150 calories and 2 grams of protein. They're not the worst. So even eating 10 isn't the worst. That's 300 calories, but 30 is still a lot in that way. Okay. Let's go through the rest of these nerd stats, and I'll talk again about what my plan is moving forward. The last 50 refeeds since I've been tracking this way, my refeed time is around 4.5 hours. My calories per refeed are around 4,000. It's 4,000 because these are included with my 20% days. My average protein per refeed, very high, over 200. I'm happy with that. Weight on the scale. If you look at the very bottom, after I ate everything I ate yesterday, I put on 4 pounds. I was actually a little surprised. I thought it was going to be more than that, but it was 4 pounds. Now, remember everyone, does it mean that I put on 4 pounds of fat? No, it doesn't. The calories don't add up. There's no way I'd put on 4 pure pounds of fat. Why do I know this? Why do I know that it's water weight and waste? Number one, because I pee all day the next day, like I am right now. But if you want real proof, if you look at this sheet here and you see what's highlighted in green, even though I'll put on 4, 5, 6 or more pounds after a refeed, I will also lose 4, 5, 6 pounds after a 24+ hour fast. I'm not gaining 4 pounds of fat, and I'm not losing 4 pounds of fat either. And now that I'm going to be pushing a 65-hour fast, my hope is I'll break back into the 130s. I'm trying to remember the last time at a 65-hour fast. I'm going to look at my sheet here. The last time I pushed a 65-hour fast was October 7th. So it's been a month. It's been a month since I pushed a 65. And I just want to remind people that I was able to hit my lowest weight in 15 months, not by doing 65s or 90s or anything longer than that, but by doing ADF. There's nothing wrong with pushing a long fast. I just want people to also know that shorter fasts have a lot of benefits as well. Bill says, where is Jerome moving out of the country? So Bill, I'm moving to the Philippines. And yes, like Maggie May says, this month. When exactly, I don't want to share that just for my own privacy reasons, but I will be moving out of the country this month in November. So what I've been doing is more than just fasting. It's been a combination of mindful eating, a combination of cardio, strength training, good sleep, and working on my mental health. In the last 104 days, my daily step average is over 15,000 steps a day. Does that mean that you need to walk 15,000 steps a day? No, it doesn't. I do this because I enjoy walking. I live in Chicago. I walk everywhere. I take public transit. I enjoy being around this city, walking by the lake, people watching. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's very therapeutic for me. But for you, maybe it's not 15,000. Maybe it's half that. Maybe it's 10,000. Maybe it's less than that. Maybe you don't like walking. Maybe you like jogging. Maybe you like running. Maybe you like riding a bike. Maybe you like going for a swim. All I'm saying is put some effort into your cardio health. Work on your heart health. That's just as important as well. Strength training wise, every morning after a refeed. Today was no different. I got up this morning after last night's refeed, after eating all of that, walked to the gym, lifted heavy, took advantage of my calories. Miss Peaceful One, have a great day. I'm just seeing you in chat here. Have a great day. Hopefully you have a great day at work. And Miss Peaceful One, before you go, thank you for the donations as always. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I abide by the 80-20 rule. What does this mean? That means that I have 80% days and 20% days. 80% days are days where I keep my calories in check. 80% days are where I'm fasting. 80% days are where I'm getting my steps in, where I'm lifting weights, where I'm doing the good that I need to do for myself. In the last 104 days since I've been tracking this, I have had 80% days. The majority of the time I am doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. As far as 20% days, these are days where I am going out with friends. I'm going on vacation. I'm going out to the bar. I'm eating ultra processed food. I'm eating a bunch of junk food. You can see calorie wise, I'm eating almost 6,000 calories on these 20% days, but look at how often it happens. In the last 104 days, I've only had 15 20% days. They happen infrequently. This gives me the opportunity to have days where I am not going to worry or feel guilty about going on vacation, or I'm going to worry or feel guilty about going out with friends, going to a ball game, et cetera, et cetera. Does that mean I am just going insane on those days? No, I'm still putting mindfulness into what I'm doing. I'm just not being as strict as I normally am on my 80% days. But even if you think about my 80% days, if you saw yesterday's refeed, that still counts as an 80% day for me. Was it a little out of control? Yes, but there was still a lot of pieces put into place there for me to count it as a good day. Now, again, you don't have to do this. You don't have to abide by these rules. This is just a good way for me to set up a system that works. It doesn't have to be 80-20 for you. It could be 90-10. It could be 70-30. It could be 85-15. You don't even have to do anything like that at all. But if you're somebody who's like me, who says to themselves, well, I don't know what to do when I go on vacation. I don't know what to do when I eat out at X, Y, and Z. Here's your chance to try something different and see if that works. My goal for November is to lose 1 pound of body fat. My goal for November is very, very simple this month because I'm moving out of the country. I have a lot of planned events with friends and family, and I'm trying to perform damage control. What do I mean by damage control? Is that I know that I will be overeating on a number of these days. And I'm trying my hardest to make sure that if I do gain weight, if I do go over my calorie limit, that I try to make sure that I don't let it go too crazy. And this is also another tool, another tactic. You don't have to throw away the day completely. You can also tell yourself, yeah, I'm probably going to gain some weight. How many of you go on vacation for a week? You know you're probably going to put some weight on. But does it mean that you have to gain 15 pounds during that week? Can you still put some mindfulness into it? Can you still practice imperfect consistency? This is where that switch happens in your brain. This is where good habits and breaking bad ones come into play. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your vacation. It doesn't mean that you can't eat and enjoy and indulge. You absolutely can. But if you're someone like me that says, well, I'm on vacation, it's 2 a.m, I'm just going to eat this bag of chocolates or whatever just because I can, does it have to go to that? Does it have to come down to that? It probably doesn't. You can tell yourself, well, I don't have to eat at 2 a.m. I don't have to go drink a ton anymore because tomorrow we're going out for breakfast, right? This is where the small changes happen. So my goal for the month of November is very simple. Lose 1 pound of body fat, be in a calorie deficit with around 3,500 calories, and to try to gain 0.5 pound of muscle. This is the harder part to measure. But for me, I just tell myself, keep lifting at the gym, keep pushing hard if you can, and the results will show themselves in the mirror, on my clothes. That's kind of how I look at it. Thanks, Shauna. And actually, this is a really good point. So Shauna says here, I love that you set an achievable goal for what you know what your life looks like for November. And this is where, for many of you, this is where strategy can be really important because I'm setting up a system where I'm telling myself, because remember, look at the month of October for me. My month of October was to lose 3 pounds of body fat. My goal for October was a lot, and even 3 pounds of body fat isn't that much in terms of the way I fast. But I gave myself a harder goal. This month for November is the month where I'm doing a lot. And I told myself, you don't have to lose a ton of body fat, excess body fat, but you can still try to lose a little bit and enjoy the time that you have before you leave for the country. That's a really good point to put out. And that's the importance for many of you. Figure out what that looks like. Almanda says, can you make a video with you measuring calories? Oh, you mean like how I figure the calories out in terms of my eating? I can definitely do that. But I'll tell you, lately what I've been doing is I just weigh the food. I know this might sound a little crazy, maybe not, but like, for example, the shrimp, right? I'll weigh the shrimp, I'll eat it, it's marked down, and then I'll go check on a website what the calories are and what the protein is for X amount of grams, and then I do the math. But if you want to do it easier, what I've been doing lately is I will lean into ChatGPT for that. I'll just weigh shrimp, I'll weigh the rice, I'll weigh whatever else that I can't get actual numbers off of. Because like the butter cookies, easy, right? Butter cookies easy that way. And yeah, Jennifer says here, I use the chronometer. And I know people use that as well. But like, for example, canned pumpkin, I'll weigh it. Rice, I'll weigh it. If I'm eating ground meat, I'll weigh that. And then I just go to ChatGPT and I'm like, here are the grams of what I ate. I need the calories and protein. And then that's it. But whatever works. That's kind of how before ChatGPT, I would weigh, and then I would use a website to find that food and I would do the math. So that's kind of how I do it. That's like the simple way. I don't know if I really need a video in that regard, but hopefully that's helpful. When it comes to things like a butter cookie, it's like 5 cookies equal. So obviously that one I just do in that way. So Jennifer says, have you gone for your DEXA scan? I have. So Jennifer, I got my DEXA scan November 6, 2024, 1 year into my journey. And I did my DEXA scan then, and I have a DEXA scan set up for November 6th, my 2-year anniversary in 2 days, right? To see where my numbers are at. Hopefully the numbers are better. I mean, I would be surprised if they weren't, but whatever numbers they are, I'll have to live with it. And it isn't going to deter me. I'll keep pushing. My goal is to still just put on muscle and lose excess body fat. Hopefully that's helpful, Jennifer. Okay. So to show what this looks like in a visual representation, and I'll make this screen bigger so you can all see this here. My goal for November, like I said, is to make it very simple, to just lose about a pound of excess body fat. And you'll see here on the 1st of November was already off to a bad start, because that's when I went to go see my friends and family and get dim sum. It wasn't bad in terms of being with family, but in terms of calories, I ate 5,500. And if you look at what my TDEE is, how many calories I burn in a day, I was way over that count. It put me at a calorie deficit of over 3,000. Yesterday, I fasted. So not yesterday. On November 2nd, I fasted. So you'll see there 0 calories. Now the deficit gets cut down to 900. But then yesterday I ate close to 4,000 calories. And here I am back again at a 2,500 calorie surplus. I'm way off of my goal at the moment, even though the goal isn't the strictest or hardest to do. If you look at the very bottom there, at the end of October, I was at almost a 14,000 calorie deficit, or almost 4 pounds of body fat that I lost. My goal this month is to only lose 1 pound of body fat, 3,500 calories. So you can see why I want to push a 65, because I have other days where I'm going out with friends and family, and we're going to some all-you-can-eat places. We're going to some places where I'm going to eat more than usual. And this is me trying to find that balance in what I'm doing. So those are the nerd stats for the day. We are almost 2 hours into this live stream. I'm surprised that I still have my voice. Doing this every day, it can be quite a lot. And like I said, for people who are not aware of this, on Wednesdays, I do, or at least for the last however many days, I was doing 2 live streams a day on Wednesday. So anyway, those are the nerd stats for the day. We are, as I turn this way, we're going to do fit check. What is fit check exactly? Fit check is when I stand back there and I show you what I look like physically. So whether I'm feeling lean or I am 5 pounds overweight, or like yesterday, 4 pounds over, I'm feeling very bloated today, everyone, just FYI. But I get up there anyway because it's important for me to be accountable and transparent in what I do. That is the importance of accountability for me. So I don't run away. I don't hide. I don't throw a big hoodie on and say, well, you know what? I don't like the way I look right now. And you know what? Since I ate bad yesterday, I'm going to eat bad again today. No, this is a way for me to be like, this is motivation for you to not do the bad things that you shouldn't do. So with that being said, while I pull the photos up, just a reminder, I have been overweight my entire life. As people are throwing the fit check emoji up, which is this one here, I have been overweight since I was a child. I have been obese and morbidly obese, like when I'm shown in this picture here at 17. In my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have been overweight, obese, and morbidly obese. And I show those photos so that you understand that it's not like I just gained this weight recently. I am 44 years old. I'm going to be 45 in less than a month. And I have dealt with this issue for decades. And I'm here now with the weight off, and I've kept it off for nearly 2 years. How? By doing it naturally, by fasting, by working on my good healthy habits, controlling my diet, or at least trying my hardest to control my diet, by working on that journey, by performing cardio, by working on strength training, by getting good sleep, by working on my mental. What do I mean by my mental? Are you an emotional eater? Do you eat out of emotion? Do you eat out of boredom? Do you eat out of comfort? Do you eat when somebody says something that you don't like? Do you eat when you have a bad day at work? If any of those answers are yes, you are eating out of emotion, right? You're eating in a way where it's affecting your mental health. And so with that being said, that's something that you need to continue working on too. These are your weight loss levers that you need to continue working on. There are many of them. Do not think that you're in here and you're just going to fast your way to success. It is possible, but what happens after that? What do you do after that? If you haven't learned how to control the diet or the exercise or the sleep or the mental health, you need to work on all of them because eventually one of them will take you. Trust me, I know this because this has been me for the longest time. Letty just donated a $5 super chat. Letty, it's so nice to see you. Letty with a $5 super chat says, thank you for 100 days and looking forward to many more. Letty, thank you for your support. I appreciate you as always. And yes, to many more. I know that today is the last day we do these dailies. I mean, I will be live streaming tomorrow, but that's with the autophagy group. But I will also be live streaming on Thursday for my 2-year anniversary. But Letty, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate your continued support as always. Thank you so much. So with all that being said, I have lost this weight and kept it off naturally, not through medication, not through something like Ozempic or any kind of like GLP-1 like Wegovy or Mounjaro or whatever they're named. I have not had weight loss surgery. I am not on TRT or HRT. I'm not on any kind of hormone therapy. Literally just natural is how I've kept this weight off. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take your prescriptions. I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider GLP-1 or weight loss surgery or even something like hormone therapy. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. You should do what works for you. You should weigh the pros and cons and see if this is something that you need. But for anybody who's on the fence, for anybody that thinks that they cannot ever get to this point, remember, I've been like this my entire life. I am where I'm at right now, and I was able to do it in my 40s. In my 40s, I'm going to be 45 in less than a month, and I've kept it off, and I'm continuing to keep it off. So if you feel like there's no other way, I'm telling you, maybe what you need right now is to be accountable and to start working on your good habits and to start breaking your bad ones. As small as it can be, as frustrating as that might be to do something in a slow way, I'm telling you, if that is going to fix the mental part, and that's maybe the thing that a lot of people don't understand either, is sure, you can do something like GLP-1 or weight loss surgery, and I have nothing against that. But I think that there's still a lot to be said about fixing this part. If you cannot fix the habits that have gotten you there in the first place, it will, the way I think it is, it will eventually catch up to you in some other form or fashion. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead, let's do fit check. Like I said, I'm feeling a little bloated, everyone, right now. This shirt that I'm wearing is an extra large boys shirt. These pants that I'm wearing are size 14 pants for boys. Why do I wear boys clothes? Because I'm small and I'm short. I'm only 5'3". So boys clothes fit me pretty well. But like I said, I'm up 4 pounds right now. I'm feeling a bit bloated. But we're going to do fit check for accountability. So front shot, side, rear, side. I mean, the good thing is I can still fit into these small clothes versus before when I would refeed and I wouldn't want to wear them at all. But like you'll see here, right? This is loose skin. This is probably a combination of belly fat. And it's something that I'm still continuing to work on, which is why I'm still trying to put myself at a calorie deficit every month. That's why I'm still working on losing excess body fat and building muscle. Put this down. We'll hop back in here, and that is pretty much fit check. So with that being said, I will answer any questions that any of you might have. If there's something that you want to share, please feel free to throw it in chat and I'll try to throw it up. Whether you want to share with us your journey or where you're at, I'd love to hear it. So with that being said, while you might be asking questions or bringing something up that we can talk about, if any of you are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We'll do exactly what I'm doing here right now. We'll talk on camera. We will put a game plan and a strategy together. My goal is the same for anybody that I work with. It is to get you to your goal. It is to help you find health and wellness, health and happiness on your journey. It is to help you break your bad habits and to start creating and building new ones. It is to teach you imperfect consistency. It is to hold you accountable. Many of us know how to lose weight. It's not rocket science. It isn't. You put 0 calories in you, you're going to lose weight. You fast, you're going to lose weight. You eat cleaner, you limit your calories, you're going to lose weight. You exercise, you work on your heart health, you strength train, that will help supplement your weight loss. Sleep well, all of that. These are things that I talk about, discuss, have conversations about, and work with people on the emotional part as well. And that's something that maybe a lot of people tend to forget. Are you an emotional eater? Do you binge? Are you eating out of comfort, sadness, boredom, whatever it might be? These are conversations that are not easy, but these are conversations that I have with many clients that I work with, because you know what I've realized on my journey too is I was that person. That's how I used to deal with things. Here's the thing is, it doesn't mean that I don't deal with them today, because they still happen from time to time, but they happen very infrequently. Kind of like the 80-20 rule. Actually, you know what? And I forgot to mention this. I saw this today. Hold on, let me remove this real quick. There is, I don't know if any of you have ever watched Athlean X. I watch a lot of workout YouTubers. I'm really into lifting weights now. And I'm not like crazy into lifting weights, but I like to make sure my form is good and whatever. But Athlean X had a video today and said something like, it was really good. He actually used kind of like the 80-20 rule. He said 80%, I'm gonna butcher this, but he said 80% of effort for 3 years is infinitely better. 80% of effort in 3 years. Remember, he said 80%. 80% of effort in 3 years is infinitely better than 100% of effort in 3 weeks. Do you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like, yes, it can't be all or nothing. You can't come in here thinking that you are going to just fly by it and do it perfectly. Now, there's nothing wrong. The only thing I would ever have to say about that is there's nothing wrong with pushing hard, giving it your all. But if you can't accept imperfection, if you can't accept even something like an 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you are going to have a hard time if you're that all or nothing type person that is doing the black and white thinking, throwing away the day, letting days go by before you get yourself back up. I really like the way he put it. 80% of effort for 3 years supersedes 100% effort in 3 weeks. Anyway, I see there's a new member too. Really quick, and actually this is a perfect, where did my mouse go? This is a perfect segue. Willis just became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Willis, thank you for your support. I appreciate you, Willis. Thank you so much. For people who are part of the Finally Fasting fam, can we throw some F's up for Willis? Willis, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the fam. What I was going to say is, for anybody who wants to support me in an additional way, if you click the link to the live stream of this, if you click the link of the description to this live stream, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam, just like Willis did. If you join, if you become part of that fam, if you become a YouTube member, you can get your name in a different color in chat here. You'll get a little emoji like this next to your name. You get to use custom emoji. You'll get your name on the intros of these live streams, which I was starting to update today, but I didn't have time to finish. And it's just a way to support me. So if that's something you're interested in, check out the link in the description of this live stream, or you can click the join button on my YouTube page, or I don't know how else you do it. But Willis, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you for supporting me in that way. I appreciate you. Thank you, Willis. Okay, let me see if I can try to answer any other questions. Sorry, my chair is being squeaky again. It's wanting to join in on this live stream. Kanku says, what is the best way to do a 72-hour rolling fast? So I don't think there's a best way is my answer for that, first of all. If you're thinking of a best way, I mean, fasting-wise, the best way fasting-wise is to fast for 72 hours or longer. break, refeed, and then fast again for 72 hours. But for some people, it might not be 72. Maybe it's going to be 68. Maybe it's going to be 74. But I think the most important part is, can you do it again? 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 And it also doesn't mean that every fast has to be 72 hours. For a lot of people, this will start to burn people out. Sometimes people will be like, but Jerome, you did it. Yeah, I did 90-hour fast for 5 months in a row, over and over and over, rolling 90s over and over and over. But I was also eating 6,000 to 7,000 calories. I wasn't doing 90-hour fast because I wanted to do long fasts. I was doing it to help offset the calories I was eating. So when you ask a question like this, Kanku, ideally, you'd probably just do 72s over and over and over. You'd refeed, you'd keep your refeeds hopefully clean, calories under control, hopefully good, whole, clean foods, but also giving yourself grace and understanding that not every day is going to be perfect. I think the best way to do a 72-hour rolling is to shoot for 72 if that's what you want. But if you end up breaking at 43 or even 28 or even 16, that you hit your timer and you ideally go for another 72-hour fast again. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And that is how you build your fasting muscle. That is how you will start getting 72s under your belt. Remember, not every fast has to be 72. Just remember that. So when someone asks a question like this, my answer to that is just hit your timer and go again. Refeed and go again. Refeed and go again. Work on your other weight loss levers. Work on your diet. Work on your exercise. Work on your sleep. Work on your mental health. Hopefully that's helpful, Kanku. Thank you for the question. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let me scroll down here. Jennifer says your pants match your hat. They definitely do. Okay, so Margaret and Aisha asked very similar questions. Even when this one's a little different. Margaret says, wow, what time on Thursday will you be live streaming, Jerome? And Aisha asks the same thing. What time do you plan on live streaming for your Thursday 2-year anniversary? So let me actually check this, because I know I have coaching sessions and I have some other work for a client that I need done. Thursday is also when I'm getting my DEXA scan. So Thursday, as I'm looking at this, I know I have something else going on Thursday. Oh, that's right. I have okay, that's at 4 o'clock. So Thursday, we'll probably maybe do it right at, I would say on Thursday, it's going to be around the same time as today. It'll be somewhere between, I would say anywhere between like 1:15 p.m. Central to 1:45 p.m. Central. Let's just say 1:30 p.m. Central to be safe, but it'll be somewhere around that time. Thank you, Margaret and Aisha, for that question. So yes, for people who are watching this, I will not be doing a live stream tomorrow during the day. I will be live streaming tomorrow later in the late afternoon or early evening. That time I should actually look at, but that will be with my autophagy group. If you want to be in that, that'll be our, you have to be a part of the Finally Fasting fam. I do this every Wednesday for my members. I've been doing it for a while. It's just doing 2 live streams a day is just very, very taxing on me, on top of all the other work that I do. And actually, I'll say this then, right? And I think I might have noticed it in some of the comments or in chat today, but one of the reasons that I can't do daily live streams, or at least as often as I've been doing, is because for some of you who don't know this, I work as a professional photographer. I work as a social media marketer. I work as somebody who does e-commerce work for other clients. Some of you don't know this, but my career, I started off working in IT. I worked in IT for over a decade. And after working in IT, I started to work in social media marketing. It's one of the reasons I work in YouTube. I was a social media marketer. I worked as a creative director. I eventually worked as a e-commerce director. So I've done a lot, and I have a lot of clients that I do work for, and I have just taken on a role with another client where they're asking for extra hours. And I have accepted those hours because if I'm being honest, YouTube just does not pay the same way as other work does. If I could do this as a full-time job, I totally would. I would do this all day, every day if I could. But I think you probably know that it just doesn't pay the way it does. You know what sucks too is, and I don't, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but like when you guys donate, I'm so appreciative of it. But YouTube takes 30% of that, like off the bat, right? They take 30% of that. And I'm not here to moan and bitch about it, but it just sucks that like YouTube takes such a big chunk out of that. Even when you super chat, even with when all of you subscribe and are a member of the Finally Fasting fam, YouTube takes a chunk of all of it. I think it's 30% or it's 25%, but either way, it is what it is. I'm not going to, but that is the reason I cannot do dailies every day, because and actually it started November 1st. I started on taking this new role of adding more hours on. And so it's really cutting into the time. And so as we sit here now, it's 3:45 p.m. It's going to be a long day for me because I still have other work to do. So just FYI, again, it's not that I'm not appreciative, because I'm so appreciative and I wish I could do this as my full-time gig, but I know that fiscally it's not there. So anyway, just FYI when it comes to that. Okay. Maggie asks, will you be live streaming before or after your DEXA? So it'll be after my DEXA, Maggie. My DEXA scan is set for 11 a.m. on Thursday. It doesn't take long, or at least it didn't last time. So hopefully I'll be able to, do my live stream around that time, because I'll have to get the DEXA. I'll have to look at the results. I want to compare it to last year's, and then I want to make sure I have all the slides ready to share that. Thanks, Happy Bunny. Happy Bunny, and like Happy Bunny says, you look fab. That minty color is so nice. Thanks. I hope I can be on the other side of this journey someday. I know you can. I know many people who are on here will be able to find that. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, but that's where the accountability is really important. I feel the same, Aisha, but you know what? Like, my plan is to still do this on a regular basis, or at least as much as I can. Some of it is going to depend on just my workload, but even if it means just jumping on and making it real quick, maybe that's something I can do, but I'm going to have to play around with that. But I'll miss it too. I definitely will. This is something I never even thought was going to be a thing, but it just ended up being a thing. And I'm very thankful that, and here's the thing, I'm thankful that I tried it out and did it. And this applies the same to all of you who are watching this right now in your journey and in your lives. Sometimes we don't want to do things because it's uncomfortable. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but you do it anyway, because what's the harm in it? This is how you learn. This is how you grow. Imagine when I live streamed on the 28th of July. You can go back then. My live stream on the 28th of July is probably nothing like it is today. I know for a fact I wasn't going through everyone's chat and having a conversation with them. I am almost positive of that. It's grown and it's evolved, just like your journey will, if you show up for yourself. I know that sounds like a weird, like, related way to talk about it, but if you think about what I've been doing in my life lately, I'm literally just doing what I can. I'm taking the chance. I'm taking the risk. Why am I moving to a different country, right? I want to experience something new, different. I want to challenge myself in a different way. Why do you think I'm trying to learn 2 different languages? For the exact same reason. I want to grow. I want to evolve. I want more in my life. I want to be happy and healthy, just like hopefully all of you are trying to do for yourselves right now. Okay. I also talked a lot more about outside of just fasting, I think, in this live stream than I have in any others. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Hi, Latrice. I'm just trying to catch people I haven't said hi to. Thank you. My second time watching and learn something each time. I'm glad. And I hope you continue to learn more as this journey continues. Jennifer says, I think it's amazing you're moving. Are you taking that chair with you? I am not. This chair was given to me from the co-working space that I'm at. They also had this desk that was here. So I was thankful I didn't have to, even this cabinet, that's theirs. So I was thankful they gave this to me. And that's why when they gave me this very squeaky chair, I couldn't complain. I was like, no, this chair is not, it's not coming with me at all. I don't even know what my next setup is going to look like. So we'll see when all of this goes down. Okay. That's it, everyone. That's it for today. I want to thank everybody today for being here. I want to thank everybody for celebrating 100 days of live streaming in a row with me. That's something I didn't even think was going to be a thing. I am so appreciative of everyone here. I'm so appreciative that you have shared what you have shared with me, that you have worked on your journey. And even for the people who maybe came in here and told me once and never said anything again, I hope that one day you get to come back here and you watch this and you realize all I had to do was just show up. All I had to do was put whatever effort I could in and show up for myself. Even for people who have never said anything in here and have been lurking for however long, I hope you take something from this as well. I hope that in some ways I've helped you figure out your journey. One of the things that impresses me or amazes me more than anything else sometimes is when I haven't even heard from someone ever and they'll reach out to me or they'll shoot me an email or whatever it may be. And they'll tell me they're thanking me for being able to help them in a way that they've never been able to do it before. It's one of the reasons I wish I could do this as like a full-time gig. But anyway, I'm just very thankful. I'm very thankful to you all. It is why I take the time to do what I do. That is why I will talk to people and I will answer questions. That's why I try to not put a paywall where I shouldn't. And again, for me to go off of a tangent here, you all do not even know the half of the emails I get for people asking to sponsor X, Y, and Z, and the amount of money that they would pay me to talk about a certain product or whatever. And I always say no, because for me, I really think I'm not that person. If I were to ever support a product or whatever, like I would have to actually use it and enjoy it and want to support it enough to let other people know that, hey, I endorse this. You've never seen me endorse anything over the years. And I've had people pretty much ask me for a while to do X, Y, and Z for them for X, Y, and Z amount of money. And I refuse to do it because I really want people to understand how genuine and how helpful I want to be when I do this. And I hope people who I've coached before and I've talked to, I hope you realize that too, with the extra time we spend or, answering emails or answering questions. And yeah. Okay. So before I go, I want to thank everybody, but I also want to give a super huge thanks to all of the people who have donated today. Miss Peaceful One, Shauna, Elmadas, Deja, Sydney, Happy Bunny, Lynn, peace to all. Melly Mel with the $50 donation. Thank you so much. Miss Peaceful One again. Elle with the huge $100 donation. Elle, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for all the support you have given me. To Letty, and then to all my new Finally Fasting fam members who joined today. Dak, Maggie May, Kevin, Angela, the Titanium Woman, Willis, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. And to all my other Finally Fasting fam members, thank you for your continued support. Thank you for supporting me in that way. I mean, I don't know, maybe there'll be a day that this becomes just a full-time gig, and that would be wonderful. But I don't know. In the meantime, that isn't going to change what I'm doing here. Yes, I might not be able to stream every single day, but I will try to stream more regularly than once a week. That's my plan. Whether that's 3 days, 4 days, 5 days a week, I honestly don't think I'll be doing more than 5 days a week because that's a lot. But because I already stream on Wednesdays as a default. So even if I do 5, that would mean 6. But whatever that number is, I want you to remember that, like, whether I'm live streaming or not, that doesn't mean that you should just walk away from it. Whether I'm live streaming or not doesn't mean that you shouldn't show up for yourself. Continue to work on your journey, because eventually I will be posting, I will be going live, and I will be asking you how you're doing. So don't look at this as if I'm never coming back, because that's not the case. Yes, there will be days that I will not be here. I will post on my accountability or my community post and ask how things are going. So please talk to each other there. Continue to be supportive in that way. Continue to be kind to each other. This is the community that I would have never thought could have been built, but here we are. It's lovely to see. I'm so proud of that. And I hope that the people who are here every day, you made this happen. You absolutely did. You inspire me. You motivate me as well. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't for that either. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for everything today. I'm not going to do this again. So no, I mean, I'm not going to be emotional about it. So I'm going to do my obligatory wave. I'm not going to see you tomorrow. I'll see my autophagy members tomorrow, but I will see all of you again, though, on Thursday, right? It's just a day, just one day. So with that being said, thank you all so much. Remember, you're not alone. Don't give up, right? Keep going. Keep practicing imperfect consistency. Okay, I'm out of here. Bye.